Hey there Planner fam, so it is the last day of the first month of the year. Love it, like a little tongue twister there. And I don't know about you, but I am pretty happy that January is nearly over. I've cried, I've laughed, I've hidden under my duvet, I've seen friends, I've put the world to rights, and I'm glad that January is over. So with that in mind, I want to share my current lineup. I don't want this to be one of those FOMO videos. I'm gonna be real. Let's be real. Okay, let's come a bit closer. Come closer. You see, when I first got into the whole planning community thing and I was perusing people's YouTube videos and looking on Facebook and seeing stuff on Pinterest, I saw so many gorgeous things that truly gave me FOMO, and just made me want to consume all the things. Like, I need to have this and I need to have that. Like, I really got into this mindset of, well, I'm only a real planner if I've got like this particular, like an Ollie clip. I don't have an Ollie clip. I'm not a real planner. I've never given into that. Or a certain kind of pen, or a certain kind of bougie pen, or a certain kind of bougie planner. It's like, sometimes it's too much and I've had to resist. And this year, I really wanted to buy a new planner. I'm not gonna lie, the Filofax Norfolk range has really, like, the textured leather, like that pebbled leather. I think the colour that I like the most is that neutral, I'm not sure if it's called almond. I might be confusing that with the brown colour that looks a bit like this. But the colour that looks kind of like this, that's the one that I'm like, oh, it's really gorgeous. I want to treat myself to it. But why? Why would I do that when I already have a planner that is kind of that colour, and all I would be doing would just be buying it for the sake of buying it because I kind of want it? And that's not right, because over there I've got enough boxes on the shelf. I don't need to add any more boxes. Anyway, I don't know, maybe you're not feeling me on that and you want to buy all of the things, and that's great, but I don't want what I'm sharing now to make anyone feel like they got to buy this or they got to have that, or their system, their planner setup isn't legit unless it's got this particular item or that particular item. I think most people within the planning community are all on the same page when it comes to that. Like, we don't want to be pushing consumerism. We just want to be sharing the things that we love and the things that are working. So that is what I'm doing here when I go through my stack. It's not changed much from what I've shared previously towards the end of last year, but now I've actually got everything set up in the planner that I'm going to be using for this season. Next season I will switch to something I already have, unless I see something vastly different that I want to add to my collection, but I'm going to try to resist. I'm going to be good still. But yeah, a lot of this is what I'm already using. So what I want to do is switch you to an overhead view and do a quick flip through of this stack, what I'm using and why I'm using it, and hope that it will give you some ideas if you are looking for some ideas, if you are looking for some inspo, or if you are just, you know, enjoying a cup of tea, having a little moment, chillaxing because you like to watch planner videos, because heck, who doesn't like to watch a gorgeous planner video? I don't know, like, boring people. Or maybe I'm the boring person. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to flipping the view. So this is the stack that I am currently using to help keep my mind and my life in order. I've got 3 different things here. They're not all for planning purposes, only my A5 planner is what I use for planning. The other 2, I will quickly show you what these are for. The pen, I'll come to that in a moment. So the first one in my little stack here is the Moterm Veg Tan Traveller's Notebook cover with the Traveller's Notebook inside. I've got the Doc Grid version in here. And I use this as my gratitude journal. So at the end of each day, I like to sort of rewind over the course of the day and pull out the little highlights of things that I'm grateful for, or cool things that happened that I want to keep a memory of. But it's generally meant to be things that I'm like, that was unexpected, and I'm very like a serendipitous thing that I'm thankful for, or a happy event. So that's what I do in here, and I tend to set the layout up myself. I did look at the, I think it's the Perpetual Week by Travelers Company, but I didn't like that the week was structured on the left hand page with the overflow on the right hand page, because what I tend to do is I prefer to write on the right hand page, and then on the left hand page I will do a little bit of a like a junk journaling collage kind of thing, which I will pop a picture on the screen, because so far this year I haven't got around to doing that. So what that means is I keep this, it's gone a bit iffy, but I keep a little brass ruler in my pocket here for doing the layout, as well as a uni pin, fine line pen for just drawing out the lines and doing the dates down the side, because I don't want to use a fountain pen for drawing those out, and I just wanted everything to hand in here. I keep it really simple. I literally just have the ruler, this little thing. When my husband and I were visiting a little town, he bought a hat, and this was the label on the hat, and I had my gratitude journal with me at the time, and I was just like, oh, that's such a cool little label. It's got to live in there. And then I've just got some little notes and things in the pocket, as well as spare inks for my fountain pen. The fountain pen I'm using is a Kaweco Sport, really affordable pen, nice, lightweight, compact enough, very nice to write with. I don't have a super expensive pen to compare to. It's not chef's kiss perfect in terms of the writing experience, but it is still a very pleasant writing experience in that it's not scratchy or glitchy, or it doesn't have a whole ton of horrible feeling feedback other than the feedback that you get from the pen moving across the page. And that's really it. In here I've got a couple of other notebooks that came with Moterm came from Moterm when I bought this planner, but I use them for like prayer lists and other little notes, which aren't really something I do every single night. It's a good place to keep notes on certain things. And then the little charms at the bottom I had made myself. I've got this little carnelian one, which is my birthstone, and just a little fake key. And then my daughter made me this. She asked me what I wanted it to say, and I said, oh, I quite like it to say Armour of God as a little reminder. So she made that for me, which I decided to clip onto the side of my planner. Next up in my stack is the, and forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, the Luxe 1917 A5 size planner. As you can see, journal. As you can see, I've still got the little belly band on it because I really like it, guys. What can I say? I'm being a little bit ghetto with my label still attached, but I just like the way it looks. It's going to get really tatty. I'm going to have to remove it, but until such time, it is going to remain on there because, these notebooks are expensive. Like, this isn't some couple of quid thing I bought from the pound store. So I need everybody to know, cheap pen, expensive planner. Like, the pen is about the same price. No, the pen is cheaper. The fountain pen is cheaper than the planner. Oh my, I keep calling it a planner. The fountain pen is cheaper than the journal, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, this I use as my morning pages, and I've shared that before, because last year I had exactly the same thing, but I think this colour is called Earth, whereas this colour, I can't remember what it's called, but I shall, didn't mean to jog you. I shall again list everything in the description. And the pen that I use with this notebook is the Jinhao, I think this is Business 100. A really affordable pen that I found on AliExpress. As I said, it's cheaper than the notebook, but really gorgeous pen. And I got the Jinhao ink in brown to go with it, which it's quite watery. I feel like it comes out quite heavy when I'm writing on the page, but in terms of writing experience, I'm not angry at it. For the price, I'm impressed. So this notebook, I'm probably going to blur these pages out because I use this for my morning pages. So this one I will reach for at bedtime and update it, whereas this one I will reach for in the morning and just, you know, brain dump anything that's bugging me, and yeah, get all of the icky stuff or questions or cool things out onto here, so that can kind of clear my mind so I can think properly. So that's the next item in my stack. And then the last item, and this is where I try and keep my life in order. Like without this, I would probably drop the ball on so many things, but this is my actual planner and it hasn't changed a great deal. You know, when you like something, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. So in here, I haven't got a ton of stuff. I like my planning system to be very, very functional. I just have a small ruler in case I need to draw any lines. I've got some shape stickers here by Papertarie. I will pop a link to her shop below, and I'm not even really using them that much. The ring ones I will be using because I marked some dates off on my 2024 calendar, so that's just handy to have that there. I've also got some paper. I'm so over transparent sticky notes because I hate having to have a multitude of pens to hand to be able to write in them, so I am just sticking with paper post-its that are just a lot easier to use and, in my opinion, dispose of. I've still got my £10 note. If you've been around here for a while, you would have seen this appearing in lots of videos, and then just a tiny little detail here with a little heart paper clip. This little doodah thingy, planner charm, this is from Colour Cafe, and I just like that this is super slim, so I can fit it in here to keep this just a piece of acetate over my calendar page, just to keep that a bit more protected. And then yes, 2024 calendar, and there you can see an example of how I'm using those little ring stickers from Papertarie. This calendar is from my own collection. I've pared back everything, so I literally have one collection of planner inserts called the Essentialist collection, and it is all about paring things back, being essential, like being minimalist, being functional, and focusing on the things that need to get done. Few little sticky notes here, again, paper sticky notes. This one is available in my shop. It's a printable template, so you can print onto the sticky notes. I really love that. You'll see more examples of that in a moment. And then here I've just got some future dates noted that I need to transfer into my planner, and then last year's 2023 calendar that I just need to keep a note of some of these dates that have been circled. Then we come into my quarterly, where let's just turn to a page where I haven't got too much in. Okay, so here is the quarterly layout. I decided for this year I would add in a little overview section for each month, so I can put any notes in of things that I want to focus on or be doing for that particular month. And I've changed the layout here a little bit in that we're going for more of a, I guess, bullet journal style format with the date, number, and then the day of the week letter. And then we've just got the holidays and observances on the back of the quarterly insert. And then I just have a few brain dump sheets because, you know, it's always good to have some paper to hand when you need it. Again, like, I'm a simple girl. I don't need all of these pockets. I don't need a bunch of stuff. I need this to be a space where I can focus and get things done. The pen that I use in my planner, I've got the Sarasa clip pen just because I like having the clip function. I like that it's retractable. You can probably guess I'm kind of into the browns and the creams and the greys. And then I've got a Tombow in colour 942, and I put tape over my numbers. I've shared this before because they always seem to rub away way too quickly, and some of the colours are so close it would be impossible for me to know if I couldn't find my order sheet, even if I did find the order sheet, I bought like a bunch of different colours all at the same time because I wasn't sure which was the same. But when I say different, they were like slight variations of the exact same colour. So yeah, you know, we're in that kind of zone. So that was a real lifesaver for me, popping a bit of clear tape over it. So here we come into this Essentialist dashboard, and this is what I'm talking about. Essentialist is about only doing the things that are absolutely necessary, hence why I don't have a pocket full of things. Yeah. Focusing on what's fundamental or central to the nature of something, relating to some things or someone's basic or most important qualities, a person who works on basic, indispensable or necessary elements. So yeah. Now here we come into my monthly planner, and I'm probably going to switch or jump ahead to an empty-ish one, which will be March. So with this, and this is where I'm doing the bulk of my planning at the moment, just because of how life is. It's a bit complicated and I just don't have the headspace to be getting into the minutiae of days and weeks. I'm just focusing on looking at my month. So in here, I've got a really nice layout where I can easily plan my week. I can clearly see where weekends are. I can see everything in this calendar list view, which for my brain is just nicer than scribbling a bunch of stuff in, say, the grid calendar spread over 2 pages, which is when I first started getting into planning. That was the layout that I initially tested, and I just didn't like how messy it looked, although I did like the ability of having a grid so that you can see where things are. I quite like that, and I would normally use little icon stickers on here if I'm really in that kind of let's lay down some stickers mood. But when I'm not and I just want to quickly write out something, I can do that there. I can also list out my priorities for the month, any to-dos and any reminders that I need to focus on. Now this next section, this is what is really meant to help me stay on track with the things that I want to achieve. So I've got a space to put a goal for the month, actions for that goal, as well as any targets that I want to reach, and then extra space for notes. And then there's the daily tracker, and at the moment I can probably show you. Let's go, I will just blur out anything. So yeah, here I can start to track the different things that I want to do on a daily basis. So 10,000 steps each day, try and get 7+ hours of sleep, doing 20 minutes of walking after dinner. I've got my morning yoga, cold shower, full workout / gym / climbing. So I'm doing a foundation course at my local indoor climbing centre. So I just indicate whether it was a climbing day or a gym day. Yeah, I didn't do too great at the start of February, but whatevs. And then I'm trying to get into writing on Medium on daily basis would be great, but more than once a week is good enough. And then yeah, I've just been able to write some targets for those things on the other page. So that's how I'm using this insert. And then the other thing that I really love about this monthly, being super focused on targets and plans without it being really heavy and getting into the minutiae and like beating yourself over the head, is that there's space at the end of the month to do a review of how things went and actually look at what your final numbers were for certain targets, and then think about what you need to do moving forward for the next month. So I'm really excited about that, because I'm going to be able to do that because it's the last day of the first month today. So this is where I'm going to, for January, look at this and really hopefully get more in gear for February. Now, I'm not going to show you a lot in my weekly because, as I said, my life at the moment is just, I can't seem to get into this whole weekly planning. That's why I've got undated weeklies. When my life gets to a stage where I need to be zooming into the weeks and zooming into the days, then I've got these to hand, they're undated, and I can pick it up as and when I need to. But for now, one thing I am using these, and this is a sticky note template that I created. I'll leave a link to this in the description, but this just helps me not lose touch with having like 3 wins for the day and focusing on the things that are important and urgent, because you know I've got to put out fires occasionally, important but not urgent. So these are the things that are sort of developing my projects, and then just for me, because yeah, I did guided guided self-help? I did a course of guided self-help last year because of all of the that was going on in my life. That was recommended that I do some guided self-help, and she recommended that I need to do tasks that are just for me, just for enjoyment, that aren't just like the normal things, like actually making a concerted effort each day to do something that fills my cup up. So it's like the self-care thing, but not being that self-care where it's like, oh, I'm gonna relax in a bubble bath for 4 hours and just have champagne on tap, because that's not realistic. Sometimes it's just, today did I take 30 minutes to go for a walk, or did I take 10 minutes to read a book, or something that's meant to just help me switch off that I find enjoyable, rather than only thinking, well, it only counts if it's a task that is important or urgent. It's like cleaning or cooking or errand running or writing an article or responding to emails, like all of the demand kind of thing. So anyway, I'm waffling a little bit. Let's move on. Other things I've got in this planner, my project planner that I haven't really had a chance to use yet, but when I do, this will help me think about what the project is, why I want to do it, some of the things that are going to be required. I've shared this before. There's not a lot for me to show here, but I have got that in here when I'm ready to do some project planning. I've got quite a few in here when I'm ready to do my project planning. I've also got an inbox for listing out any incoming things that I need to do. Again, it's not got anything in it because I'm trying to keep life super simple and just find other ways of keeping track of things, although I'm at a stage now where I really do need to just list things out in here, because there's too many moving parts for me to just use notes on my phone and starring things in Gmail, what have you. It's not going to cut the mustard. So yeah. And then content plan. I was really excited about this and couldn't wait to use it. And yeah, I haven't used it because I've been using Notion a lot for my content planning, and I really love using Notion, but I actually want to be able to see things in black and white on a page and move away from like being on the laptop and having to like be online and be in front of a screen. To be able to do that, like think in the space somewhere else and map it out on paper, is something that, you know, I was excited about, but life at the moment is just too blech to be able to focus on too many things at the same time. But anyway, I'm getting back into the flow of things. And then I just have a page lifter at the back with my old set of transparent stickies that I never use. I will pop a link to these. These were just from Amazon, but these are from PLANxSTOWE. They are super old. I think I got them last year or the year before, so she may not even do these colours or shapes still, who knows. But yeah, I've just got them back there because it just wasn't important enough for me to peel everything back and start fresh. I just needed to make sure that I got my stuff into my planner and that it was ready to rock and roll. And that is it. A really simple, functional planning system where I'm mainly focusing on this monthly planning, goals and tracking setup. I've got my bank of sticky notes. I call it the sticky note planner, where I can write down the 3 wins that I want for the day, as well as any reminders, which is why I'm not really using the inbox so much. I'm just doing my little reminders here and then disposing of that at the end of the day, so I'm not getting my brain bogged down with stuff that's just gonna like make me come undone, as it were. I just need to keep life really simple and just simple, essential things that are going to help me stay on track, and that is how I've got my planner set up at the moment. So if I've missed anything or I've glossed over things from different shops that you're like, who's that by, what are you doing there, where did you get that, then do just drop me a comment. But for now, that is it. I shall catch you in the next one, planner friend. Thank you so much for watching.